Next question. Following information is available about certain portfolios. Portfolio A to portfolio H have been given to us. Risk-free rate of return is 12%. Suppose there are three investors, Mr. X, Mr. Y, and Mr. Z, who are prepared to tolerate standard deviation of 15%. So they want risk of their portfolio 15%. They have decided to invest in a combination of risky portfolio and a risk-free security. X, Y, and Z have selected portfolio E, F, and H respectively. So Mr. X will invest in E and RF. Mr. Y will Mr. Y will invest in F and RF, and Mr. Z will invest in H and RF. Calculate their risk and return. So we are required to make the computation that say if at all they make investment in such a combination, what is the return of that portfolio? As far as risk is concerned, that we have already been given as 15%. So what happens, let's say we are required to do answer in the sequence. For Mr. X, we have to compute that saying what proportion he should invest in E and RF so that the return of the portfolio is 15%. I'm sorry, so that the risk of the portfolio is 15%. And once investment is made in that proportion, what is the return is required to be found. For Mr. Y, we are required to do similar working. We have to compute that saying what proportion the investment should be made in F and RF so that risk of the portfolio is 15%. And if risk of the portfolio is 15%, that is in that proportion when you make investment, what is the return? Lastly, for Mr. Z, you are required to compute that if the investment is made in H and RF, then in that case, in what proportion the investment should be made so that the standard deviation of the portfolio is 15%. And once you make investment in that proportion, what is the return is required to be calculated. That is the way three workings are required to be made. We'll start with, say, Mr. X, who will invest in E and RF. Please write an answer. Mr. X. In that write down, Mr. X will invest in E and RF, comma, in such a proportion so that sigma p is 15% and at that time, comma, we have to find RP, return of the portfolio. Full stop. Working note number 1. Calculation of weight of E so that the sigma p is 15%. Now friends, we understand it is very simple to calculate. We know that sigma p is equal to WE into sigma E. Okay. Why? Investment is made in two securities and one of them is RF. Standard deviation of the portfolio is 15%. Weight of E into sigma E. What is sigma E? It is 19%. So weight of E is 15 divided by 19. 15 divided by 19. 0.7895. So you should invest 78.95% of your portfolio in E portfolio so that the sigma P would be 15%. This is what's the simple working note. Then we understand calculation of RP. That's very simple to compute once again. It is weight of E into return of E plus weight of RF into return of RF. What is weight of E? It is 0.7895 into return of E is 19 percentage. I'm sorry, 17 percentage. Plus, we understand that so the weight of RF would be 1 minus 0.7895 into return of RF is provided to us as 12 percentage. So into 12. That is the way we are required to make the computation of the return. 7895 into 17, that is 13.42 plus 0.2105 into 12. 13.42 plus 2.53. Final answer is 15.95 percentage. So you should invest in both the securities in this proportion so that standard deviation of portfolio will be 15 percentage, and at that point of time return of your portfolio will be 15.95 percentage.